Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm going all the way back and working with sketch number 1 from the Sketch Support series by Allison Davis for Scrapbook Generation. Okay, so today I'm going to be working with sketch number 1 from the Sketch Support series, and it is another 2-page sketch, so double page sketch. And again, I'm going to be breaking it down and just using the left-hand side of this sketch because the stories I'm telling are smaller everyday stories and have fewer photos. So I'm going to back up and just use this half of the sketch. And I am going to use 2 photos, but not this smaller photo. And I'm going to just shuffle this block over a little bit so it's more centered on the page. And I will also be working with this collection from Close to My Heart. It's a very old Close to My Heart collection. It doesn't even have zip strips on the bottom. The paper is thinner than it is now. And it is called Tinkerin'. And this is when they used to level their scrapbook supplies in 1s and 2s. And I have 2 of the 6x12 sticker sheets to go with it. And these papers are double-sided, but on the backs they're just kind of the same pattern, but in solid colors. So I have started my layout, and I started with a Bow Bunny double dot Buttercup Journal 12x12 cardstock, and I used the grid side or the ledger side of the paper, so that's the background sheet there. And then I took some of the striped patterned papers and cut them to represent some of the stripes in the sketch. And then I also did some, this is upside down. Okay. And then I also cut some larger strips, and this is washi because I wanted to bring out the red, and there's very little red in the collection, but it is there. And I'm going to use, I think, some of these red gear stickers as well. It's kind of an orangey red. And so I found washi tape that kind of was like that, and I put that in there too. I also did some, because Allison Davis is big on the stitching, hand stitching, and I didn't have time for that this particular day, so I did some doodling instead and did some faux stitching. There's some adhesive on there. I also did a little bit of doodling down here. These little white dots are all white pen, and for that I used my Sakura Jelly Roll pen from Michael's, Jelly Roll 08. And for the main block, I flipped the green paper and used the back side of it. So here's the green, and I used the back side of the green for the main block there. And then I took this same striped paper that I used for those longer stripes, and I turned it this way to get those stripe strips across the top that are represented in this sketch. So Allison Davis is big on using stripe strips in her layouts, and I really quite enjoy how that looks on her pages. So I have been using these sketches as a class, because if you go back on her blog, I can go back and read how she used this sketch 5 different ways. And so I've been doing that, and then seeing what kind of inspiration I can pull from her ideas. Then I also have been watching the videos if there is a video, but for this one there wasn't. So I think the further back you go, the fewer videos there are. I think she started her videos later, like at number 14 or something. So these are the photos I'm working with today. This is my grandson Quentin. He is not quite a year old in these pictures, maybe 10 months, 11 months. And he had gotten a new tricycle. from his Nana and Papa. And so I'm going to tell that story. Let me get these photos adhered down. Now I cut the sketch had two on that left hand side, two 4x6 photos. I cut mine down to 3.5 by 5 just because there was some stuff in the background that I found to be a little bit distracting. You can still see my son's foot, but that's okay. What else can I tell you about this so far? I will link Allison Davis's sketch support information down below, her blog, the store website where you can find all these free sketches for download, and her sketch support, scrapbooking sketch support Facebook group as well. And in there you'll find an album for every sketch. So she does have an album for every sketch that was offered through this series, and I am going back and completing the layouts that I haven't, or the sketches, sorry, that I haven't worked with yet. And after this one is finished, I'll have 7 more sketches to go with. So that is this month's class focus. So I'm trying to work through some classes that I have saved up on a list, so that it's helping me just to not spend money on classes that I'm going to maybe half finish. So I've talked about that in my other videos if you've been following along, or if you want to go back and check those out. My product focus this month, for the month of June. Now I don't know when this video will go up because I'm recording a bunch of videos this weekend. Today is June 12th, I believe. And I'm just filming. I have the weekend off, which is exciting and rare, and don't have any plans actually other than some yard work and housework. But I do have some time to get some layouts recorded and done. And so my product focus for this month is to use up a bunch of thickers that I pulled that are still maybe a little bit usable. I haven't wanted to throw them out yet, but I need to either use it or lose it. So this title I created from this thicker bundle that's just about finished here, and it's called Heidi. And I didn't have any E's left, so I made E's out of C's. And this is just a little trick that I learned from, what's her name? Kelly O'Black here on YouTube. So I will link her channel down below as well. Now, I originally wanted to keep the idea that there's an embellishment cluster here, and then the title would go here with some embellishment. But now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it might be cute to put the title under the pictures and put like love it, hate it, because he absolutely loves the tricycle and did not love putting the helmet on. So it took a while to get him around to thinking that was okay. So I think I'm gonna go about it in that way. And these ones are not sticky, unfortunately. So I'm going to, I don't know what American Craft's deal is with their thickers, but even the puffy ones aren't sticking. So if I make it a little bit, just trying to decide where I want, like what height I want that at. So I do find that when I do this and I pull out some thickers and I'm like, oh, I'm going to use up these thickers, I start actually paying attention to the little bits and pieces that come with it. So like, for example, here, I'm going to use these plus signs and some of the dots that come with the sticker packs or thicker pack as part of my title. And sometimes I'll find something on there, like and on another layout I used a bunch of the dots from the thicker pack as like in the way that you would use maybe some enamel dots. So I do find myself using up what I have a little bit better when I pull something and think, okay, I need to either throw this out or get it used up. So I also come up with more creative titles and more creative like ways to use my letters. Instead of being like, oh, there's no E's left in here, I will actually make an effort to be like, what else can I cut up to make an E? You know, so yeah, that's one of the things that I enjoy about pulling a product to focus on. I also become a little bit more creative about like, what words am I going to use if I don't have the words that maybe my original title was going to be. What else would help me tell my story that is here? So that's good too. And this was not, there was no T's also. I forgot about this. This was a Z. A Z. And I just cut this top piece off of it and it looks like a T. So that's how I could kick. My hair is everywhere today, sorry. And then instead of using just this one font for the whole title, I also pulled out these Jelly Bean Soup wood words that I also have on my desk as kind of a use it or lose it item. I have they've been on my desk for a little while after I cleaned out my box of enamel dots and sprinkles, page sprinkles, like rhinestones and whatnot, pearls, etc., etc. And these were kind of floating around in the bottom, so I pulled them out, stuck them down on a sheet. Do I have them? And I have put them with my use it or lose it thickers. So hopefully I'll get some more of those used up. I probably won't throw them out if they don't get used up this month, because I do find them quite usable, but I also will probably see if I can file a few of them in as embellishments somehow, like maybe with my, instead of with my titling stuff, maybe they need to go in with my what do you call them, that, you know, those Tim Holtz has the sticker books that have all the words and stuff. Word strips? Word strips? Yeah, that sounds right. Alright. It's hard to... I like to stand over my layouts, but if I do that, my head gets in the camera, so bringing out the T-square ruler, I guess. That's another way to go about it. So this little trick of using a letter C and then using something else as the center part to make an E, I usually use the dots, but for these ones they didn't look right. They didn't make it look like an E. I don't know why. So I had these little bits that I had cut off from some exclamation points to make letter I's, and they worked better, so that's what I ended up using. And I have pulled a bunch of metal embellishments today to use because of the gear theme. I went looking for some like gear brads that I knew I had, and then I kind of went down a rabbit hole finding things I thought would be nice on this layout that were Okay, so that's that. This is just a blank sheet from this thicker packs that I'm gonna keep with my thickers to put my title ideas on because it works easily. So then I also have these, my journaling. It says Quentin loves the new tricycle that Nana and Papa got him, but he really doesn't like wearing the helmet that goes with it. So I think I will put my journaling, let me see, do I have any base, something that I want to put my journaling on? Maybe a gear? How about this big yellow gear? That'd be cool, hey? Yeah, okay. So I also inked my edges today in Hickory Smoke Distress ink from Tim Holtz. I really like inking my edges. It's kind of my go-to. Now, these papers are thin, so they're a bit hard to lift up after they've been adhered down, but we're going to give it a whirl. And that is going to be kind of the base for my, I'll fix that after, for my journaling. So this month product or class focus is this sketch support series, but I'm also doing the Allison Davis sketches for 6x6 paper pads class, 1-page sketches. I have done the 2-page sketches class twice and I really enjoyed it, so I'm doing this one as well. I had already purchased the sketchbooks. I think I talked about this in a previous video. You can, when you enter contests and stuff on the SG Scrap Squad, which is the Scrapbook Generations Facebook group, or on Allison Davis's classes, or like this sketch support series, if you enter a layout in the album of the current sketch, so for June it's sketch 21, and I'll have a video for that up in the playlist for sketch support series. And if you enter the current one, like a layout in the album of the current one, you're entered to win like points in your Scrapbook Generations account, and then those points translate into dollars. So I've gotten sketchbooks in the past that were very inexpensive or free because of those kinds of points that they give away. And this was one of the, or not this one, the sketches for 6x6 paper pads class that I'm doing. I had already purchased the sketchbook with points, and then when the class became available, if you already owned the sketchbook, you only had to pay a $5 fee to get the access to the class. So I thought that was pretty, and I don't think I used my points for that. I think I just paid the $5. But I thought that was pretty affordable, and for the amount, I don't know if you've never taken an Allison Davis class before, the amount of information that she shares in her classes is astronomical. Like, you wouldn't even, for $5 especially, like, wow. Oh, wow. So if you haven't taken a class from her before and one comes available in the near future, I would recommend giving it a whirl. Okay, so I want a cluster here and a cluster here. I don't really have a very good plan at this point, but that is where I want to begin. And I think I'm going to use my other yellow gear on here as another cluster base down here. And then I think we will go from there and get some of these metals onto the page. And it doesn't show up as nicely, but that's okay. We will figure it out. Maybe I'll put a blue one there too. There. Okay, now I was thinking it might be fun to put this metal piece in the center of that gear, that sticker gear. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Piercer. So in addition to the sketches for 6x6, or no, in addition to the sketch support videos that I'll be putting up this month, you'll also find on my channel a playlist for the sketches for 6x6 paper pads class that I'm doing, and I do at least one layout for that a week. There was one week where I had 2 ideas and just rolled with it and did 2 layouts. And then I also, when I am home on the weekend, and Jennifer Edwardson at Jennifer Edwardson Creative Inc. is doing a free Sunday use your own product layout, I will jump on there and join her. She's one of my other favorite designers, and so she also gives away a ton of content for free if you follow her on Facebook. So I will link her Facebook group below as well. And then another thing that's kind of on my radar that if I have time this month, you might see videos for, is the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group is doing a spending freeze this month, and so they have challenges as well. So if I get, it's on my radar. I don't know if I'll have time for it, but I would like to. So we'll see how that works out. I'm just trying to find out where I want this. I think. Okay, well, it's not going to push through on its own, I guess. Ooh, poked myself in the finger. On one of my previous videos, I was doing a layout and did some hand stitching, and I poked myself with the needle and didn't realize it, and so there's blood on the page. A little DNA to leave behind. This one might have my hair in it too, since my hair, I've found hair on this one twice. Yeah, just leaving a little DNA behind in my albums, I guess. Too funny. So these little, I don't know where this one is from. It was just in my stash, and I just put a metal brad in the center of it. And I don't even know if it's supposed to be a gear, but it looks like one to me. But these little gear brads, this one and this one here, are from the Eyelet outlet, so I will link that below. They have all kinds of themed brads if you're into that sort of thing, and their designs are super cute. But I do like when they come up with really usable things, or things that are specific but I know I'm going to use it. Sometimes I'll buy them. I do like the I know some people don't like it, and I think it's a lot to do with like where you live. But some people don't like metal on your layouts because it rusts or something if you live in a humid climate. But I don't. I live in a very dry climate. So it doesn't rust, and I love the texture and dimension and everything that a metal embellishment adds to my layout. So I think I'm just gonna add this to my titling. I feel like arrows and bikes go together because they both show movement, or represent movement, I guess. What else? I also have these little arrow paper clips that I think I would like to go as well. I'm not sure if I want to like actually clip them on or just glue them down or what. How does it even go? Apparently I can't figure that out, but that's gonna go there. And this one will go here. And then I have these, I found these. See how I went down a total rabbit hole? I'm like, oh, and I have arrows. Oh, and I have... So these are like a happy face and a sad face, Brad. Can you see them? This one even looks like maybe like a little bit like worried. So I think those will be really cute in here too. And then I have these wood. Since I had wood in my title, I wanted to add some wood embellishments as well. So I'm going to put some wooden gears on here. I think this one maybe will be okay up here. There we go. And I have this other arrow because it's the same, but I don't really seem to mind the difference in the silvers. So, and then I had these stars as well, but I don't know, do I want, yeah, maybe, they're cute. I don't know if I want this though. So that's all gonna go on there. And I did pull, what else did I pull? Let me see. These are also from Close to My Heart. They are really old enamel shapes from the Brave collection. And I find them to be very Southwest because of this shape here and the diamonds, I think. And I haven't really used them, but I think I might use a couple just by my title here because they are like this turquoise-ish color that is in the papers from the Tinkering collection, which is pretty sweet. And then maybe I can put the other two up here as well. Or instead of, yeah, I like the idea of repeating it. I was gonna say instead we could use these, but I like the idea of the repeating of the triangles. And triangles also give that arrow idea, like movement. So here is the basics. I also pulled out some enamel dots that are from the Pink Fresh Some Days collection because some of the colors go. Now, I don't worry about like, oh, there's no pink in this collection or the green isn't right or whatever. Well, actually the green is pretty close. So I just, if I think that even some of them, like this red definitely is the right kind of red, that turquoise, the blue goes with that blue, the yellow, maybe not quite, but it's close enough. Yeah, so if I think that it kind of goes, then I'll pull it out and tuck it in, even if one of the colors matches and I want to use that color. So I think I'm going to put this little sad face inside of this gear here. I think that will be cute. And I'll put the sad face on this side because this is where the sad picture is. Does not want to wear his helmet. That's probably a pretty common thing for little ones. It's not comfortable, right? He has since very much changed his mind. Like, he loves his bike now. He has one of those Strider bikes. I'll have to do a layout about that one of these days because it is hilarious to watch him. And maybe I'll even include a video at the end of my video of him riding his bike because I cannot get over like how long he will ride it for. Like, when I was there, he was like 2. It was back in April, so 2, almost 3. His birthday was in May. And he, honestly, he would ride it for what felt like forever. And I was like, I was fully expecting to like have to carry the bike or, nope. He just was like giving her as long as he thought he was going somewhere he wanted. And then there were other times where we're like, yeah, let's take him for a bike ride. He's like, no, not interested. But it fascinated me how long he would actually ride it for. And he's happy to wear his helmet. No biggie. So let's see if I can get this one on at least because it's a little bit more open than the other. There we go. That's so nice. Went on nice and smooth. Oops. It doesn't like the sticker. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this one too. I don't know. It's a mystery. Ugh. So, I don't know when these videos will get posted, because like I said, I'm just going to try to record as many as I can on my days off, and then I'll just have them ready to go, because I definitely will not be scrapbooking on any kind of regular basis. But the good news is my second job, people have finally hired new staff, so I won't have to work as much as I have been. The paycheck's been nice, but I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. A 50-hour work week is not in my wheelhouse. I'm not one of those people. Most of my life, I've only worked a 35-hour work week to begin with, so yeah, upwards of 50 has not been fun for me. But I've survived. It hasn't killed me either. And I have money to go visit my little babes twice during my summer holidays, once in July and once in August. So I'm so looking forward to that, spending all that time with them. And I just have to remind myself that it's so worth it just to be able to have them know me and be there in person, not just sometimes I think, especially when COVID first hit and I couldn't fly out there for a long time, I kind of thought, like, this kid thinks literally that I'm a character on a TV screen, and it was so upsetting to me. I might as well be, I don't know, Bob the Builder, because he doesn't even know me in person. And then when I did go out, finally, after waiting almost a whole year, since then, he's so much more familiar. Like, he sees my face, and he says my name, and he tries to say grandma, but it comes out more like mama. And it's sweet. I like it. I like when he sees me, he knows who I am, and I don't feel like such a stranger. So, yeah, that way it's worth it. I still don't think I need to work as much as I have been. But I've been able to buy some things for my craft room. Bought myself an Epson picture mate. Very excited about that. So, there, I think I've got all my mini metal embellishments and some wood embellishments down on my page. I have stuck pretty close to the sketch that is here. I have to fix the focus thing on this. So I have an embellishment cluster in this corner with my journaling just kind of like in here. And then I just scooched this title part over and have my embellishment cluster that is represented here on the layout. I just moved it over so it's on the same page. So I think I might add a few of these little enamel dots because, like I said, I wanted to bring out the red in this layout just because his bike is red. And so I feel like if I can, emphasize that color a little bit, it might draw your attention to what the layout is about a little bit more. Oh, weird. That was not what I was going for. Okay. Is that what I want? Nope. Just can't seem to figure it out today. Some days are like that. Sometimes life is harder than others. Okay. Now I have 3 different sizes that are not so dramatically different. Okay. So this is my completed layout. I did get those enamel dots on, and I do think it brings out the red in the photos. So this is it for today. Stay tuned for a couple of close-up shots and a few detail shots of my layout. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click that like button and give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to know more about the things that we talked about, click that show more button down below the video description to find the links to the things we were talking about. And if you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber to my channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you will know every time a new video goes up. Have a great day, everyone.